What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the video. I got a question for you. Do you believe in UFOs, unidentified flying objects, aliens? Do you believe in, what is the new term that the government is now using? Is it like UAP? So a Los Angeles family reported a crashed UFO, and police told police that they had seen 8 to 10 foot creatures that are 100% not human. Now, you probably have heard about this story already. However, there are additional updates that have come out. Now, I got to ask you guys, what do you think? Do you believe the reports that are coming out about these 8 to 10 foot aliens in the backyard? Do you know what stores are closed on Juneteenth? Well, later in this video, I'm going to share with you guys what stores are going to be open and closed on Juneteenth. AT&T just told 60,000 managers to return to office, forcing thousands to relocate or quit. Is corporate America getting the upper hand on remote work and bringing all the employees back into the office against their will? Do you work from home? Would you prefer to work from home? Let me know what you guys' working situation is in the comment section down below. Texas is in the thick of a brutal, prolonged heat wave. Some parts of Texas are hitting like 120 degrees. My, thoughts and prayers go out to anyone who happens to be living in Texas with their air conditioning system having gone out. By the way, if you own a home, definitely get your free home warranty quote. There's a link in the description down below. Never be caught off guard by another very expensive home repair again. Now, Airbnb is cashing in on $1.8 billion per month on guest fees alone. We're going to talk about that one later in this video. We have a lot to cover. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and not waste any more time. Let's get started. If you guys are new to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel and also drop a quick like for the video. I would absolutely appreciate that, guys. So you probably have heard about the whole UFO situation that's going on, that's been reported in Las Vegas. But based on the comments that I've received on previous videos, many people still have not heard about this UFO alien report that has taken place. So I want to give you guys just a little bit of backstory. So basically, the story about the aliens gripped national attention, especially in the aftermath of UFO whistleblower David Grunch's claims that the government, the government of all people, is running a secret crashed UFO retrieval program, and it sparked debate about its legitimacy on social media, and it's made its way to Congress. Well, the House Oversight Committee said it is in the early stages of scheduling a UFO or UAP. I don't know why they changed the name up here. Unidentified anomalous phenomena hearing, but nothing definitive has been scheduled as of June 17th. By the way, for all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. Hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you're spending time with your families, and you'll get a little bit of rest today. Probably not, because you know how us fathers are. But anyway, happy Father's Day to all you guys. So a witness to the Las Vegas incident made a YouTube video describing what he had seen that night, and he replayed the 9/11 or 911 recording. Quote, "I looked at it in the eyes, and my body was froze like having sleep paralysis," he said. He had a weird looking face, big feet, big shiny eyes, and a big mouth. I could hear its loud, deep breathing, and its stomach kept moving. He would just stare at me, and seconds later, I could move again. Very interesting. Now, at 12:25 a.m., he called 911 and told the dispatcher that large creatures were in his backyard and hiding behind a forklift. Now, they're not human, is what he said. 100% not human. This is what he told the dispatcher in an audio recording. I swear to God, it's not a joke. It's actually real. Now, I gotta ask you guys, what do you guys think so far? Like, is this a hoax? Is this fake? Is this real? Are aliens real? Are UFOs real? Have you ever seen a UFO? I mean, me personally, I've seen comets in the sky, and those are some of the coolest sights. Can't say I've ever seen a UFO. Do I believe in UFOs? I guess it's possible. I don't think it's impossible to think that, there's other life out there outside of, not outside of the Earth. But yeah, haven't seen it myself, but I think anything's possible. At least 21 people across Eastern California, Arizona, Nevada, and Utah reported seeing the glowing green light according to the American Meteor Society. The Las Vegas incident, or Grush's explosive comments, have been confirmed by the government to date. The Pentagon told Fox News Digital that there's no verifiable information to substantiate the claims. This is in response to Grush's comments. But several sources who know either know Grush personally or claim that they have some knowledge of his claims have told Fox News Digital that he is very credible and vouch for his claims. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever called the police for anything like that? Have you ever called the police for a UFO or an alien sighting in your backyard? Chances are you guys are going to say no. But think about it. Have you ever called the police for something? Maybe there's some kids making noise in the neighborhood, or maybe to report a break-in, or whatever the case is. Have you ever have the police ever said, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and install some cameras here to monitor the situation long after we're gone? I don't remember ever hearing anything like that. And so I find it a little bit odd here that the police decided to essentially install cameras on the home that reported the aliens. Essentially, the family is afraid for their safety. Now, I mean, I'm not aware of police under normal circumstances installing cameras on people's homes. Las Vegas police are watching the home that reported a tall, skinny alien creature with greenish color that was about 8 to 10 feet tall in the background of their home last month. Police body cams from police officers in the area caught a glowing green light streak across the sky. And I'm not going to show you guys a video because you guys have already seen it, I'm pretty sure. Goes on to say that a family called 911 and claimed it was a UFO that had crashed in their backyard during the overnight hours between April 30th and May 1st. And they told the emergency dispatcher that they came face to face with aliens. Now, there's no actual pictures or video footage of the aliens. It's basically all, word of mouth, hearsay. This is what was reported. Since then, the Las Vegas police installed cameras on top of their home because the family is afraid for their safety. This is what police had reported. Again, I've never known police to install cameras on anyone's house. So it makes you wonder, what's really going on here? Is there something that they're trying to cover up, or are they legitimately trying to investigate this situation here? But why cameras? Like, why would the police install cameras? And I've actually been following the story. The homeowners actually had cameras in the back, but for whatever reason, as soon as the alien or UFO situation began, the cameras that they had installed, the security cameras that they had installed, miraculously went offline. And miraculously, again, they came back online shortly after the UFO had taken off. Quote, after the initial contact with LVMPD, the family at the residence reported that they heard noises in the backyard and were afraid for their safety. We offered to put cameras up. They offered to put cameras up. Like, I don't know if this is like some just wealthy part of town, but I don't know that I've ever heard of police just voluntarily offering to install cameras to make sure that, a resident is okay. Anyway, maybe this is some new thing that they're doing. Quote, we offered to put up cameras to help ease their concerns of someone coming to harass or harm them. Yeah. So, it's a pretty viral story. It says here, Papa, who typically focuses on corruption, has written extensively about the 2017 Las Vegas massacre, told the New York Post that he is a skeptic of UFOs or UAPs, as the government calls them now, and aliens, but he spoke to the family and believes that they have some credibility. Quote, the mother told me that they came out there and they put up the cameras supposedly to protect the family from people coming to bother them about the UFO. I mean, I don't know, guys. I feel like, until I see a crispy, clear 4K video showing this aircraft, this UFO aircraft, the actual aliens themselves, I have a hard time believing all of the details of this story here. Not saying that UFOs don't exist, but I certainly do question what's happening here. Juneteenth Day. It's right around the corner. So Juneteenth is Monday, June 19th. So let's talk about what is actually going to be open and closed on Juneteenth this year. So Bank of America, let's just talk about banks. So Bank of America, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan Chase, TD Bank, they're all following the Federal Reserve's system holiday schedule, which states that they will be closed on Monday, June 19th. ATM branches will operate normally, though. Post offices and shipping services. Looks like the United States Postal Service, the USPS, will be closed. They won't be delivering mail on Monday, the 19th. So schools. If school's not out for summer yet, check the 2023 calendar to confirm if they're keeping their doors closed on Monday. So it looks like that's going to be on a case-by-case basis for schools. DMVs across the country will be closed on Monday, June 19th. The stock market, including the New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, will be closed on Monday, June 19th. Stores, even though Best Buy, Target, and other national chains recognize Juneteenth as an annual company holiday, most of their retail store locations will be open. So if you happen to have the day off tomorrow, or technically Monday, June 19th, maybe you can take the family out and have a nice lunch or something like that at restaurants, since they're likely going to be open. AT&T is telling 60,000 managers to return back to work, forcing thousands to relocate or quit. Wow. So yeah, about 60,000 AT&T managers are being told to return back to the office by September. However, the mandate says workers must return to just 9 locations, leaving an estimated 9,000 employees with the decision to quit their jobs or to relocate. One manager described the change as layoffs disguised as an RTO policy. I think that this is probably quite accurate. It's a very slick move that companies can do to avoid laying people off, so that they don't have to get the stigma of laying off their employees. If the employees end up quitting, then the companies don't necessarily have to pay out unemployment insurance. So this saves the company a lot of money. This also preserves the company's reputation, that it kind of makes the company look like they're still strong, even though they effectively created a layoff situation. So instead of laying off employees, create a situation where your employees want to quit, or may find themselves being in a situation where they're forced to quit. Very, very sneaky move by these corporations here, guys. Bloomberg reported that the telecom giant is mandating a return to offices starting in September, after 3 years of many employees working remotely. Although the company has 350 offices around the country, CEO John Stankey wants workers to report to just 9 of the 350 offices around the country. Really? Why? Why is that? You got to wonder, and again, this could be a strategic move to, hey, come to these offices or quit. You got these 2 options. Hey, we're not firing you, but you got to come back in the office. Well, what if the nearest office to you is like, 300 miles away? What are you and your family going to do? It's kind of dirty, if you ask me. Managers have to choose between Los Angeles, San Roman, California, Seattle, St. Louis, Washington, Middleton, New Jersey, and Bedminster, New Jersey. Wow. Anyway, so while most affected employees live near one of the 9 locations, 15% of managers, roughly 9,000 employees, will have to decide whether to stick with long commutes, relocate, or just leave AT&T altogether. So let's just say, 15% of the employees don't live very close to to one of the 9 locations that the CEO is demanding that they report to. Well, the company knows where you live, and the company has chosen these spots, I'm pretty sure, very, very strategically for a reason. Maybe, I'm just guessing, maybe the company said, hey, we need to reduce headcount. We need to reduce headcount by about, 15% or we need to reduce headcount by 9,000 people. Well, 15% of these employees will live in an inconvenient place in relation to the offices we want them to report to. This should allow us to get somewhere close to the number of headcount we need to lay off. So let's make it very, very inconvenient for these employees to continue to come to work. Let them take themselves out. This is what could be happening. I'm purely speculating, but I'm just looking at it from the outside in. Texas is in the thick of a brutal and prolonged heat wave. Parts of Texas and southern Louisiana are feeling like a steam room amid a dangerous heat wave that's set to last more than a week. Blistering heat and stifling humidity have already combined to push the heat index well above 120 degrees in spots. Now, here I was talking about how hot it was just yesterday. It was like 90 degrees, and you got people over in Texas dealing with 120 degree spots. Unbelievable. The Lone Star State broke heat records on Thursday and Friday, and many more are expected to fall over the coming days. Now, this is very concerning. I mean, you're talking about climate change, global warming. Are they messing around with the weather? Are they creating weather? I'm trying to remember the name of that device. Somebody had said it previously. It's what the government can use to manipulate weather patterns. I wonder if it's got some of that, if some of that is happening here. Texas Governor Greg Abbott said at a news conference on Saturday, he spoke with Electric Reliability Council in Texas, the organization that operates the state's electrical grid ahead of the heat wave. Officials have assured him that they could meet what may be record power demand as Texas residents try to cool their homes. Can you imagine? I'm not trying to. The Biden administration's hell-bent on this green energy initiative, trying to really push people to go all electric, get rid of your gas-powered cars, purchase an electric vehicle, sell your gas stoves, throw it in a wasteland, purchase an electric stove. So there's this push to go electric. And with this push to go electric, that's going to significantly drive up demand for electricity production. So what happens when you have heat waves like this and everyone's trying to keep cool and everyone's charging their cars up? They're charging, they're depending on electricity for their stoves and whatnot. At some point in time, if the electrical grid is not beefed up dramatically, there's going to be more demand than there is supply for electricity. And chances are it's going to be on the least opportune day, probably on 122 degrees day when the electrical grid can't fully service all of the needs of the customers. That's going to be painful. I mean, I don't think I've ever been in a situation where I've been in a state where it was 120 degrees. I've been in Vegas many times, and I think the hottest has been for me is maybe 105 or something like that. But 120, oh man, I could see people dying in their homes, depending upon their health and age situation if they didn't happen to have electricity. Or what about people who have maybe oxygen tanks or something like that, or maybe they have medicine in the refrigerator that needs to be kept cold. And your electricity goes out. There's a lot of risk to an electrical grid failure that poses a lot of concerns. Extreme heat and humidity will significantly increase the the potential for heat-related illnesses, particularly those working or participating in outdoor activities. So, Yeah, this is going to be pretty serious. An estimated 150,000 customers are without power in far northeast counties of Texas as the violent storms tore through the area on Thursday night. That's what we reported a couple days ago. So, I mean, there's at least 150,000 people in Texas right now without power. Not a good look for them right now. Airbnb host reveals how Airbnb is making a whopping $1.8 billion per month from guest fees alone. Wow, they are making bank on people. So Airbnb is a widely used online marketplace that connects hosts seeking to rent out their homes with guests who are looking for accommodations in specific locations. I think, what was it? Airbnb's biggest competitor, I think, is VRBO. Yeah, so Jasmine Lorimer brought attention to the issue of Airbnb's high fees through a now viral TikTok video. It's gotten well over 221,000 views, and the caption of this TikTok video is, "Airbnb is a ticket master of the vacation rentals." Okay. She said, "I've been really losing my mind. Someone needs to explain to me why we use Airbnb." So the TikToker, who's been an Airbnb host since January, expresses her dislike for the famous home sharing site. She said, "I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate the company." Wow. Okay. So in this video, Jasmine's mentioning that she was aware of the 3% host fee when she signed up for Airbnb. However, she says that Airbnb guests have to pay an additional fee of 4% that she believes is too high. So what's that? 3% plus 4%, that's 7%. She reveals that she charges guests a substantial amount for their stay at her place in Whistler. For a 2-night stay, this can sometimes amount to an extra $120 on top of what they're already paying, she said. It frustrates me. Jasmine, so let me just kind of skip through here. Jasmine breaks down the cost, stating that she pays around 17% to Airbnb per listing. Wow. Yo, Airbnb is destroying it without even having to own any properties. It's kind of smart, though. Taking into account the 3% host fee and the fee that she takes in for her guests. Quote, she said, "I looked into it and I was like, what is the reason for this? Like, what is this really doing?" End quote. According to her, Airbnb is making around 1.8, let me rephrase. According to her, Airbnb is making around $1.8 billion per month, not million, in commission fees only from guests in North America. I can't stand it. I mean, I'm not against a company making money. But if you think that the fees are too high, you don't have to use Airbnb. So that's my take on that. Vote with your dollars. Home buyers still need to make at least $138,000 a year to afford a $500,000 home despite the newest drop in mortgage rates. Wow. That is way more than what the average American is making right now. So how much money does the average middle class American household even make? You know, it says here, as inflation continues to decelerate, economic growth is slowing and the tightening cycle of the monetary policy is reaching its apex, which means mortgage rates are expected to decrease later this year and into the next. Well, based on that, folks, we may be, and I'm not trying to make a prediction here, but we may very well be at the best point in time to buy a home. Because if interest rates start going down again, we already saw this pattern happen before. When interest rates go down, home prices generally start going up unless there's an extreme excess of inventory, which we don't have. So if interest rates start going up, then that would mean that prices would likely start going up. So it would seem like the wise thing to do would be to start preparing now, and see if there's any kind of properties that you might be able to snag up and purchase or invest in. This is not financial advice whatsoever. I'm not a financial advisor. But if interest rates are expected to potentially start coming down, this may be the lowest point in this economic cycle to purchase homes before real estate values start going up. Just my thoughts on that. Do with that information as you will. Even so, today's rates, considerably higher than they were just a couple of years ago, are keeping both buyers and sellers at bay. Say you're buying a $500,000 home. Assume you have a 10% down payment and you lock in a 30-year fixed rate mortgage at today's average rate of 6.69%. You'd have to pay about $3,460 a month after property taxes, homeowners insurance, according to estimates from Zillow. Well, guess what? That also doesn't include your HOA. So you'd have to factor that in too. Anyway, considering that most lenders want you to keep your housing expenses at or under 30% of your gross income, you would need to earn at least $138,000 to afford that $500,000 home. 30-year fixed rate mortgages, the average 30-year fixed rate mortgage fell to 6.69% this week, while last week it was 6.71%. And a year ago, this time, the rate averaged 5.78%, which is wild because I remember when rates hit like 5%, people were like, well, I ain't buying a house now. It's 5%, because it used to be like 2 and 3%, right? And 5% seemed so high, and it did. I was like I had a friend that was buying a house in Vegas, and he told me what his interest rate was. He said it was like 5%. I was like, oh my God, that's terrible, right? And now we're sitting in the 6.69% interest rate for 30-year fixed rate mortgage. Now in hindsight, that 5% mortgage rate sounds pretty freaking attractive. So it's just kind of wild how, that comparison bias, how it makes you think that something is more expensive or less expensive depending upon what you're comparing it against. But yeah, guys, it's kind of wild here, but drop me some comments down below. We talked about a lot today. Let me know what topics of what topics of discussion were most interesting to you that we discussed in today's video. Drop me some comments. Also leave a like for the video, consider subscribing to the channel, and I do look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Be safe.